Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Track Titan Community Race Series. It's round 3 of Season 4, and let me tell you, we have got something special on our hands today here at the Hungaroring. Formula 3 cars in the V6s will be lighting up the air around this historic circuit just outside of Hungary's capital. Joining me in the commentary booth tonight is Spitzlam. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Hello, guys.
Great to have Spitzlam back, of course. And this is... have you been to Hungaroring before?
We have not.
And have you in person? You're my
No, I
representative.
will maybe next year.
Oh, how exciting. You're my representative for the rest of Europe.
If inflation goes down, then maybe yes.
That'll do us then. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll be able to experience this track in person then. But yeah, like I said, Hungaroring playing host to today's round here in Hungary. 4.4 kilometers of circuit, 14 corners, and well, these corners are tainted with history, aren't they? We've seen so many amazing battles throughout GT races, throughout F1, going well back into history. There was that. Was it a Schumacher battle where he almost got put into a pit wall?
Don't know anymore, but a thing that I definitely know, this was the first race behind the Iron Curtain at that time.
Oh wow, that's a nice fact there, Spitzlam. I like that one a lot. Well, actually, with that in mind, we're going to take a look at the championship standings. If you give me a moment to get these ones up, here we go. So Ryan Skywalker is leading the way after that amazing double win last time out. Ryan has an amazing record here. That is, he's only ever won or DNF'd, which is the exact same record that Max Verstappen had at the start of this season in F1. And well, we've seen how his domination has gone. Do you think that's going to be replicated by Ryan, Spitzlam?
I hope not.
Well, actually, that's very true. I hope not to, because the racing is much better when people at the front are racing with the rest. Dennis Bosman sticks there in second position. He's been having a quietly really good season so far. Well, I say so far. Been 4 races in, if you will. But Dennis has been just pumping in the points. He's been consistently near the top. He's been keeping himself out of trouble. And it's showing because he's second in the standings and he's a fair bit clear of Max Newt 7, who struggled last time out at Zandvoort. He really struggled in that old McLaren, couldn't get to grips with it, couldn't keep it on the track for the most part, and as a result, he's dropped down into third. And then next to him, in fourth position, is his fellow Finn, Henry Comsey, who also has been having a fairly decent season. Not the best so far, but he's been having a decent one. A fun fact for you here. These facts provided by Keith Holt. Dennis Bosman and Henry Comsey, the only 2 drivers to finish in the top 10 in every race so far. So we'll see if Henry and Dennis can continue that top 10 record. And then we have Gulagzek, the fan favourite from last week. They're in 5th position in 156 points, followed closely by Michelle Rodriguez. Michelle said that he's not been enjoying these Formula cars, but he's looking forward to when we get back into the normal street cars, if you will, the BTCCs, the V8. So expect him to move up the championship if his talk is just as big as his performances. No way, the other way around. Damien Hall in 7th position. Damien Hall is the highest placed driver to have not got onto the podium so far this season. So that shows how many people have been on the podium so far in the championship, which is great to see. And then Smells Like We in 8th position. Roger Sale, the Viking, after his second place last time out, he's managed to get himself up into 9th position. And then the original Meatball, the OG, is in 10th position. It's Alexander Gray. And he's been having a decent season himself, as has everyone in the top 10. You don't get in the top 10 without having a decent season, do you?
No, you don't, even if it's the start of the season. Also, with changing the points again.
Yes, so we have changed the point system, which makes things a little bit more interesting. But hopefully it makes it a bit more viable for some of the drivers to stay in the fight. Of course, is it every driver that finishes gets 1 point, correct?
If I'm right, it should be like that. Or it's still 20. I'm not sure. Because there are 22 people on the grid right now.
We should clarify this, really. We should know this as commentators. But I think what the basically is everyone that finishes does get a point here, and this is an incentive for drivers to drive safe and stop crashing into each other as they have done recently.
Yeah, so Max should have a point theoretically if this was the race. So yeah,
yes.
we don't have that tested.
Well,
We just know that everybody gets a point.
everyone should get a point, yeah, for finishing the race, which is a bit like WEC. And well, these races are like an endurance race sometimes, aren't they? The amount of chaos that goes on, I think just finishing the race is an achievement in itself.
That's definitely true.
We've cut to track cameras here, and we're looking at Ryan Skywalker going around the track right now. And let me tell you, there's something going on track, something that we haven't seen very much. And with only a little bit of qualifying left, this is going to be very interesting. Ryan Skywalker is not topping the timings, nor is Dennis Bosman, nor is Gulagshek, nor is Max Newt 7. It's RJ, a very much a newcomer, and we need to check. Is RJ someone that we know, Spitslam?
No, he's a random.
Incredible. This is part of the fun of inviting randoms onto the server. We have a random here, topping the leaderboard right now, and putting everyone else to shame.
We had that as well in the weekly hot lap challenge, which you can join. It's still Tuesday, the 7 p.m. CET time this Tuesday when the race starts. The race server starts. I don't know what I'm saying.
No,
guy got 129.
There was, yeah, and so in the weekly hot lap challenge, which if you don't know, if you are watching, you can join at any point throughout the week before the races. They run right up until the races, and they are the same combination as the races. So this week, it's been the F3s at Hungaroring. And yeah, one guy got a 129, which seems interesting, seems like a timing problem, but the time's there, and it's been recorded by the server, and so somehow someone managed to go 2 seconds, 3 seconds faster than anyone else on track ever. But I'll tell you what, if once someone can get a 129 and RJ can get a 131, let's jump on board and let's see just how he does it. This should be exciting as we go on board this Lotus liveried F3 car, powering down the start for the straight, braking deep at about 70 yards out, and then turning into the corner, powering out the corner there. A little bit of correction, but he's keeping it on the straight and narrow, and he's keeping it tight. Dennis Bosman puts in a decent lap time to go at third position as we come through into turn 3 on the onboard here. Driver ahead of him going well off the circuit. That's going to allow RJ to move through and carry on his hot lap, getting all over the inside curb there and using all the exit curb here to carry all the speed through of turn 5 and then up the hill once again into this fast flick of the left hand there, scything his way through the corners here, round onto the dangerous hairpin here. If you've ever played the F1 games, you know that inside curb very, very well. Now into the chicane, braking deep. Once again, he's got drivers coming up ahead of him here. Oh, and he's all over the curb there, and that's going to balk his lap time entirely. This is surely not going to be a faster lap, but he's going to carry on nonetheless. Try and put in as fast a lap as he possibly can and get all the practice that he can. Getting all over the exit curve there. This certainly won't be an improvement on his lap times as he lifts off, powers through the corner there, coming up to another driver ahead of him, and potentially he's going to back off coming through this last little complex of corners here. You've got a right-hander here, powering past the Ferrari Driver Academy car there, into the hairpin here, round the left-hander. And, oh, look at that oversteer coming out of the second to last corner, around the final hairpin here. Don't get on the inside curb, that might send your car right the way around, powering out the corner, onto the start-finish straight, and that's a lap of Hungaroring, if you didn't know it already. But reality, who doesn't know it already? This is an iconic circuit. If you don't know it, where have you been all these years?
The iconic 2021 bowling by Valtteri Bottas, which we actually have a Valtteri Bottas livery on the grid. If I'm right, it's Dennis having the 2020 Mercedes livery.
Indeed he does. Look at that, beautiful. I'm a big Valtteri Bottas fan, so that's going to be my favourite livery of the night. But anyway, as we've been chatting away, as we've been going around the circuit, the checkered flag has fallen on qualifying, and whoa, there we go. Max Newt 7 puts himself onto the front row of the grid with a 1:32.009. That's a blistering lap time from the Finnish driver there, putting himself up onto the front row of the grid. And so, with the end of qualifying in sight, but here comes Ryan Skywalker. Ryan Skywalker currently not looking to be a very fast lap, and he's going to have to sit with that one. That's him into the pit. So it is going to be RJ starting from pole. Max Newt 7 will start alongside him. Ryan Skywalker in third. Diet Peach Fanta in at fourth. That's a great start for Diet Peach Fanta here. He's very active in the Discord. It's great to see him doing well on track as well. Dennis Bosman in fifth. Gulagshek in sixth. Roger Sale, the Norwegian Viking, in seventh. Henry Comsey, Victor Lundgren in 9th, and Hugh Jass, the unluckiest driver in the world, is going to start on 10th position. Nowhere to be seen is Michel Rodriguez down in 15th. Like I said, look out for him when we come into the closed wheel cars because he should come alight there. Let's move into the race session now.
This week, 15th, 16th, Victor is the only Swede that is in the top 10.
It's not looking good for these Scandinavian drivers. Well, it's these Swedish drivers. They're normally just smashing the grid apart, aren't they, the Swedish drivers? But the Finnish have taken over recently. And it seems like the Yanks, the South Africans, and the Czechs are coming to take the Scandinavians away from success, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, the Finnish are really good. They have a really good rally scene. So maybe we will find something good in the cars that are coming into GT3s, maybe.
Hopefully. I'm just whacking the audio up so people can actually hear the engine notes on stream here.
I don't mind that as well.
I don't mind that little on-screen thing, but yeah, looking at Max Newt 7 now in this blue and green livery. I think it is based off Lando Norris's Carlin livery, isn't it? Or at least
I think we have a Lando fan.
Potentially, we've got a Lando fan in Max Newt 7, and then alongside him, it's RJ in that JPS Specials Lotus livery. I love that livery. I loved it on the Lotus. I love it on this car. It's beautiful. 58 for RJ, starting on second position, and then we go to. Goodness me. Assetto Corsa's camera. Yeah, it is. It's just Assetto Corsa camera system. Does not want to play ball. There we go. Ryan Skywalker in his Mystic Mac livery. He's got that because last week he predicted where he was going to finish in both races, and it came true. And then you've got Diet Peach Fanta in fourth position, and the blue, red, and white. How very American. And then Dennis Bosman in the Valtteri Bottas livery, as you said. I'm going to shut up. Spit slam. Spit slam, spit slam, spit slam. Who's going to finish? Who's going to be in the lead by the first corner? Max Newt 7. You've got a lot of faith.
Maybe Dennis can replicate Hungary with the same livery as Bottas. It's not raining. That's the only thing we cannot do.
That's true. So hopefully Dennis can channel his inner Bottas, or Max Newt 7 can get in the lead, because if our drivers are getting shown up by a random here, this is not looking good for the series. Hopefully, RJ returns and makes us all look bad in the future as well. 6 red lights are coming on for the drivers here. We've got a ton of drivers stretching back down the start-finish straight. 6 red lights go on, 6 red lights go out now, and away we go. And that's a very good start by both the front row drivers. RJ moves across to cover Max Newt 7 on the inside. He's got to hold that defensive line right to the first corner. Max Newt 7 cuts to the outside to defend from Ryan Skywalker and try and get a better line into the corner. Oh, Diet Peach Fanta has gone into the back of Gulagsek coming into the first corner. Caused a bunch of chaos. They both dropped down about 4th positions. Henry Comsey's moved through the chaos. He's into 4th position. Ryan Skywalker, Max 7 and RJ still as they started the race. And once again, Gulagsek is involved in an incident. He's spinning out. He's coming across the track. Oh, and Diet Peach Fanta and Gulagsek have crashed into each other coming into the 3rd corner. Mad Bull comes and says hello to them both. And that's such a shame for the 2 drivers that were doing so well in qualifying, and Gulagsek so well in the championship standings. He's going to drop down the order and going to carry on fighting from the back, but that's such a shame for those drivers. Up at the front, Max Newt 7 still in second position, defending into the chicane here from Ryan Skywalker. RJ just running away with it at the front of it while these 2 bicker behind. All this bickering is going to do is going to allow RJ to run away with it at the front, boys. But they're not bothered about that. They're just looking for the glory, aren't they? Dennis Bosman's filtered into 6th position. Hugh Jass moved up 3 positions into 7th. Roger Sale likewise moving up into 8th. Isaac Johansson from outside of the top 10 into the top 10 in 9th position. And Alexander Gray, the OG meatball, making it 2 Swedes in the top 10 right now. Is it 2 or 3? 2. Little Skittle into 5th as well. Didn't even spot that one. Where did he come from?
From the depths of the Shadow Realm. I don't know. He's attacking Dennis Bosman. That's a great going run out inside of the penultimate corner, coming to the last corner. It's ahead, but actually, fun fact, the DRS, everybody has it, because they even started with DRS open.
Yes, so because there's no DRS detection zones in Assetto Corsa, but DRS is actually available in the game, everyone has DRS all the time.
There are DRS detection zones for the Kuno cars, and some are RSS and WRC cars. They actually have functioning DRS zones.
Well, this car doesn't.
It's the track.
Oh, it's a track as well. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it depends on the track.
As it's a modded track, it doesn't have that sort of stuff. We just saw on screen there Dennis Bosman moving past Little Skittle with a nice clean move through turn 2 there. Beautiful stuff from Dennis Bosman, going to prove why he's up at the front of the pack in the championship standings, running in 2nd position. Now in 5th, while Little Skittle defends from Hugh Jass around the hairpin, and Hugh Jass gets a nice cutback on him, switch back in towards the chicane. He's got the inside line, he's going to try and break deep and make the move on Little Skittle in the white livery, but it's not going to happen this time around. Hugh Jass trying to channel all the Ferrari power, all the green power, all the Weichai power to take away that 6th position from Little Skittle, but it doesn't seem to be happening this time around. He's going to try and recharge and try again in another few corners time, while Roger Sale also hunts him down from behind. But it's a Scandinavian battle between Isaac Johansson and Roger Sale. Isaac Johansson forces the outside and makes the move on Roger Sale. Lovely stuff from him there. And Roger is dropping back like a ton of bricks. What's going on? Alexander Green now through on the inside of him. What's going on to Roger?
I think it's a little bit of damage. Seems like it.
Potential. We just jumped on board with him to try and figure out what's going on, but he is really limping around these corners there. He's barely getting on the throttle. Potentially damage, potentially just a skill issue. Not quite sure. We'll find out, I'm sure, after the race. Ryan Skywalker still putting the pressure on Max 7 at the front of the pack, though. And I tell you what, I've spoken a lot, Switzerland. What have you spotted?
Not a lot. I'm still flabbergasted that the prediction I said, it wasn't Dennis Bosman, but that Beach Fanta recreating Valtteri Bottas' move in Hungary.
It was literally play for play Valtteri Bottas' move, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was play for play. Just the crash, that Gulicek just spun out, gone into the barrier, and just come back to the track. He couldn't do nothing, he was a passenger at that situation. That was terrifying.
You got a feel for Gulicek there. He's now down in 20th position, running well off the back of the pack. Diet Peach Fanta just ahead of him in 19th. It was not his fault, that incident, but he got collected, and that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, isn't it? In these race starts, they're so chaotic, they're so tight on this circuit especially, and you just get caught up in it, and, well, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. There's nothing you can do with this.
But other than that first incident at the start of the race, this has been a fairly clean race. We've had a few drivers going off. Mad Bull there going off of his own accord, dropping down into 19th position, dropping 2 places, 3 places even. Michelle Rodriguez moving up into 16th position ahead of him. But it's been a fairly clean race so far, isn't it? The 3 at the top are battling away nice and cleanly, 3 in a row, and then you've got Henry Comsey behind, Dennis Bosman not far behind him, and Little Skittle and Hugh Jass, and then there's a nice little train all the way back to 10th position. But they're keeping it nice and clean so far, aren't they?
Yeah. Which the only real battle is between Ryan and Max, who's still battling for the 3rd place. But I think this will be the DRS train issue a little bit, even with the 2 of them being there.
Yeah,
because
potentially.
Max still has DRS. He would have DRS as well, even if the track had the detection zone, because he's in 1 second of RJ. So
yeah,
that's
exactly.
difficult. Keith trying to overtake Wandenhoven. It's a long name, I'm sorry. Maybe he can do it, but yeah, this is a small track. Basically what people call it, it's the Monaco of race circuits.
It definitely is. It's tight and twisty, isn't it? And them corners switch back on each other very, very sharply. Keith looking for a way past Allard van den Heuvel to try and get himself up into the 10th position and get himself some more points than just 1 at the end of this race. And, well, it's going fairly well for Keith Hall, keeping Allard very, very honest. But Allard is defending like a dog and isn't allowing him through at all, is he?
No, he's not.
Well, it's also now a little bit of a train behind Keith as well, because Victor Lundgren has joined the battle, and he's going to try and potentially get through on the pair of them if nothing goes right. You've got 3 white cars in a row here, so it's going to be... At least we've got the driver tags to tell them apart.
Sorry.
Mistakes
happen.
No. It just makes it funny and easy to tell apart with the name tags. I'm going to jump forward a little bit because Dennis Bosman is not far behind Henry Comsey at all here, coming through turn 2, round the long left-hander. Dennis Bosman just looking for any way he can to get past Henry Comsey right now. Let's come on board with him and see where he's gaining any potential time. Listen to the V6 roar as well. That is a lovely sound of engine, isn't it?
Now that I saw Max and Ryan, I think track limits will be a really great issue for this race.
We do have track limits penalties, I believe, right?
Well, only if the marshals see them. So, oh, it's Ryan. Ryan spun a little bit.
Oh, goodness me.
That's just in time.
Great catch there.
Max with the go on RJ. I was looking at Ryan because I was looking at those track limits. Man, that's still dirty as well. Now it's Dennis Bosman, Henry comes in, Ryan battling for third.
It is
Do you
indeed.
think Dennis can make his porridge boss in him and overtake both of them on the main straight?
Nope, not like that. With a massive slap of oversteer out the penultimate corner there, Dennis Bosman drops back from Henry Comsey and Ryan Skywalker, and Ryan with the half spin goes off the circuit, drops right
Alexander
down.
Gray spins.
Oh no, the meatball.
It's actually funny when you look on the straight or somewhere. It's just 4 white cars following each other.
It is a nice train
Right.
here, isn't it? Behind Isaac Johansson, you got Alad van den Herven leading Keith Holt, Victor Lundgren, and Roger Sale all in a line coming down towards the first corner.
Yeah,
No one
Alexander
able to
Gray,
make a
who is
move
white
there.
as well.
Yeah, he's a little bit further behind as well, also very white. In person and in car. Henry Comsey is close to the back of Ryan Skywalker. He's looking to try and find a way past, but the way that Ryan and co cleared away from Henry Comsey at the start of the race, you'd think that Henry won't be able to find a way past him, but we know that Henry can battle quite well, if not put in the hot laps. But ahead of them also, Max Newt 7 has not allowed RJ to run away with this at all, has he? I thought RJ was just going to drive away and clear off, but, well, the gap is still under a second, isn't it?
Yeah, it was over a second one time. Now it's over a second as well. But I think RJ will get a big penalty with Max and Ryan. I think as well. I think almost everyone. I will just put the race in 5 speed and watch that one corner, because I think on that one corner I will see a lot of track limits. It's like the 5th corner on this track. Corner number 5. RJ also the fastest lap, 132.
Awesome lap there.
0.4.
132.004. That's faster than he did even in qualifying. That's faster than anyone. Oh, sorry, not anyone in the hot lap challenge. But that shows that 131. That was that faster than he did in qualifying? No, he did 131 in qualifying, didn't he?
Right now, if you look at the train, Van den Hoven, Keith, Victor, Roger, Alex, I think. Oh, Keith is dropping down into 11th place. Andrew Victor a really good lunge into the first turn. And
Nice
now it's
move.
a freeway battle for 10th place with Roger joining in. And I think if you watch these 3, maybe you can see one of them going track limits at turn 5. Now, turn 5. And almost everyone will go off limits. That's Victor going off track limits. And that's what I'm talking about. I think we will see a lot of time penalties here.
Yeah, well, I definitely have to analyse them after the race, and the marshals can take a look at that. But potentially some time penalties coming into play for some of the drivers, so you can never really trust how this race is going to finish. They'll cross the line, but the time penalties might be applied after the race. Nonetheless, that was a great move by Victor Lundgren on Keith Holt. He's up into 10th position now, and Keith still unable to bite his way into that 10th position slot, or at least keep that 10th position slot in his hands. But the train does continue to go with these 4 white Formula 3 cars blasting around the circuit, all looking identical. Victor Lundgren breaks deep into the penultimate corner here. Keith Holt manages to gain a little bit of time on him, but it's not enough quite yet. As they come into the final corner, Roger Stale has a sniff up the inside. Alexander Gray is dropping down.
Again, spinning again.
The OG meatball.
I want to say something about the white cars following each other, but I think we would get a large ban on YouTube, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But it's Dennis Bosman and battling with Henry Comsey real well. Both before on the last corner, like 3/10 between each other. After the first corner, it's more than a half a second.
Indeed, that is crazy how close these two are battling in these Formula cars, and they do get affected by the wake, just like a real-life Formula car. Not as much as an F1 car used to do, of course. These are F3, these have always been great for racing. Diet Peach Fanta's managed to make himself way past Sandval further back, but we'll keep an eye on this Henry Comsey Dennis Bosman battle anyway, as I was ranted about anyway. These guys, with the DRS, it's harder for them to pass. but they're still able to battle quite well, and Dennis Bosman's proving that. And I'll quit my ranting because his battle's on track. Keith Holt's moved past Victor Lundgren. Did you catch that one, Spitzland?
Nope.
Nope.
Sorry,
well, it
Keith.
was. Oh, Keith's gone round.
Keith's spinning.
Oh no!
When
That's
we
such a
praise
shame.
him. God damn it, Keith.
Commentator's curse at its finest there. Keith Holt comes round the turn. Oh, and he bumps with Diet Peach Fanta. Diet Peach Fanta just about makes his way past into total position. Can I just say as well, despite collecting Guliczek at the start of this race, Diet Peach Fanta has had a fantastic race here. He's cut through the pack, absolutely scythed between the back markers here, and has got into 12th position.
I think the only problem that he got was the front wing and not the rear wing, because if I'm right, if you go for repairs, I think the front wing takes less time than the rear.
Yeah, he was very fortunate to not collect any.
Is 18 and Dutch Beach Fanta is 12.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. That's why he was very fortunate to got more damage.
Might be reported, but yeah, not sure.
I would expect a time penalty to be coming.
To
I would expect a time penalty to come in through for Diet Peach Fanta for that first lap infringement, if that was indeed caused by him. Of course, from my screen, that's what I saw, but it was in the moment. We'll analyse it after, I'm sure the marshals will, and we'll see what kind of happens. But we've got to praise him for battling through the pack and getting himself up into 12th position so far. Same with Guliczek, who's now coming onto the back of Michel Rodriguez and looking to make light work of the Swedish driver here, who doesn't ever practice, so it's going to be pretty easy to move past him, I'm sure. I'm also going to have a look at Roger Sale, the Nordic Viking. It's a Norwegian by Swedish battle here for 10th position, and Roger Sale is keeping Victor Lundgren very honest, as is Dennis Bosman on Henry Kumsey. Look at the gap between them two. It's under 0.4 of a second. And up at the front as well, Max New 7 has dropped back from RJ a bit. Quite a bit.
Something must have happened to Max, because that's a large gap.
That is a large gap now of about 3.5 seconds, so I can only assume
Ryan
that...
as well, and Henry is 6 seconds after Ryan. So something must happen there as well. But it's Dennis going deeper and deeper. I think we might give a dive bomb from Dennis one of the last laps. Saying that, it's 30 seconds till the end of the race plus 1 lap.
It is very, very close to the end of the race now, and Archer seems to have it in the bag. He's got 3.5 seconds on Max Newt 7, who must have had a half spin, and that's dropped him well back from him. But, well, Max Newt 7 was safe from Ryan Skywalker. Guliczek has managed to make light work of Michel Rodriguez. He's managed to get him out of the final corner, but Michel Rodriguez is battling back at him. He's ducking underneath the slipstream here. He's alongside Guliczek, and this is a great battle coming into the first corner now. And Michel Rodriguez breaks deep and goes to prove why he's in the top 10, as much as Guliczek has managed to get past him quite easily there. Michel has got the heart of a lion, and he'll fight back with all that he's worth, but it seems
there goes
inevitable.
Around outside, having the inside for the second corner, but he gives him space.
He does. Guliczek playing it very safe there, allowing Michel Rodriguez the safe. And with just about a lap and a half remaining, Guliczek is going to have to turn on the afterburners here and get past Michel Rodriguez. As much as I've roasted him, he's fighting like a dog here, and it's doing him very well down in 17th position. They're not battling for points, but this is probably one of the better battles that we've seen all night.
This is a battle for the points. Everything is a battle for the points.
It is now. It is now. That's true. Everything's a battle for points now. But I tell you what, I'm going to cut away from this one because it looks like there's a decent battle going on for 6th position between Little Skittle and Hugh Jas. The gap is a little bit larger than I anticipated, I must admit, but Hugh is battling with Little Skittle, trying to tail him, trying to get in as much time as he possibly can on him in this final lap. But, well, he's quite a way away, actually. Much further away than I originally thought.
Yeah, then I was confused as well. You overlooked Dennis and Henry, who were 2 tenths apart.
Goodness me, indeed I did. That's me not observing the leaderboard quite as well as you. Clearly, Henry Comsey leading Dennis Bosman by now 0.4 of a second coming through into the chicane, and this is a tight battle for the last lap. Is it going to result in some desperation from Dennis Bosman? Potentially. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on this battle right to the end. RJ is coming through the final few corners. We'll come to him as he crosses the line to win the race. It looks like it's definitely in the bag for him. He's only got to come around 2 corners now. Dennis Bosman tailing Henry Comsey, looking for any time he can possibly make up, but it doesn't seem to be happening. He goes very wide out of the corner there, trying to get on Henry Comsey. Sniffs to the inside, looks to the outside, trying to make a move. He's alongside. He's on the outside. RJ comes across the line to finish the race. He's going to win this first race. We're going to come back to Dennis Bosman and Henry Comsey coming through the final few corners now. Dennis Bosman ducked right up underneath Henry Comsey's exhaust. Henry Comsey defends to the inside, moves to the outside line. Dennis Bosman looks to the inside, tries to get the switch on him, but it doesn't happen this time round, and they're going to cross the line just as they started this lap, 4th and 5th. And Dennis Bosman, despite all of his battling there, was not able to find a way past, was he?
2 tenths. That's one of the closest finishes that we could have gotten.
Indeed, that was an awesome battle between them two there, right at the end of the race. Great to see some awesome racing from the two
here
drivers.
have about to the end of the race. Gulicek and Michelle Rodriguez spin out. That's Gulicek's fault. I think Michelle is going to complain about that. Alexander Gray is definitely not going to. He just made up 2 positions.
So it was an awesome battle across the line there between Keith Samvel and Mad Bull. 3-way battle, and there was this 3-way battle, but unfortunately, yeah, that's been diffused quite quickly with an incident between Gulicek and Michelle Rodriguez, which is a shame because they were racing so cleanly for most of the race, weren't they?
Yeah, it's just a dive bomb is a dive bomb.
Dive bomb is a dive bomb. Well, I'll tell you what that was a decent race, actually. It wasn't as crazy, and they were fairly well behaved, but it was good racing all around. RJ wins his first Track Titan race. Max 7 in second, Ryan Skywalker in third, Henry Comsey in fourth, Dennis Bosman in fifth. Little Skill finishes in 6th position. That's a great finish for him. Smells like we won. Earth are you doing? Huge Ass finishes in 7th. Isaac Johansson in 8th. Allard van den Herven in 9th, and then Victor Lundgren rounds out the top 10 with Roger Sale, the Norwegian Viking, finishing just outside the top 10. Diet Peach Fanta recovering for 12th. I won't carry on anymore. That was a great first race. Let's move on to the second race. It's a reverse grid.
Did you see Michelle?
I won't even comment. I won't even comment. It's not even worth me commenting, is it?
No, we can. He was just upside down.
Well,
I don't know how he managed to do that, but fine.
For the start of this second race, Alex Heller is going to line up on pole position. Le Bondit. He didn't get much screen time in that last race because he was about 30 seconds off the back, but we know that he does all right when he's at the front of the pack, so I'm sure he'll be able to lead this for at least 3 corners, unless Smells Like We can get a decent start. Let's take a look at him. Excuse me. Smells Like We. He's in a white livery, which makes it nice and easy to distinguish. Gulicek. Well, I tell you what, I'd expect Gulicek to move through and take the lead of this race fairly quickly, actually, because we know he's a fast driver.
Do you like the livery, though?
I do like the livery. Czech Pilsner.
Do you
so
have
blessed.
Sometime.
So blessed, it says Gulicek. So blessed. He's going to start on 3rd position with Michelle Rodriguez in the Benson and Hedges Jordan livery. This is an awesome livery, and might I say, one of my favourite in F1 history. Alexander Gray is going to line up on 5th position with Mad Bull in the Camel. Is it Camel Williams?
I don't
Or is it Renault?
think it's... I don't know.
Oh, no, it's Honda.
It's
no.
Camel.
Camel. Can't remember. Our F1 history is not up to scratch. Anyway, Sanval in this Motul sponsored livery. This looks like it's inspired by something, but I can't quite put my finger on what. And we'll move on.
Alex or Michelle.
For Sanval.
Sandval. I think that's one of the F3 cars, F3 liveries.
Well, it looks awesome. Keith Holtz 6th position, Diet Peach in 7th, Roger Sale in 8th, Victor Lundgren in 9th, Valad van der Herven in 10th.
No brakes. So
You are?
Michelle says no brakes into turn 1. So
Michelle Rodriguez is going to try and cause some banditry. We've had a comment on the stream. Come on, Diet Peach Fanta from Paul Kitchener. Come on, Diet Peach Fanta. He's going to be battling his way through from 10th position. 11th? No, 12th. 1, 2, 3. Maybe 10th. I don't know. Can't keep track. Anyway,
9th.
Let's start this race. 9th. There we go. 6 red lights go on for the drivers on the grid. Hopefully they can keep count because I certainly can't. They get away. Smells like we. Oh, with a ton of oversteer off the line. That's not going to help him as Gulicek ducks right up underneath Alex Heller, and as does Michelle Rodriguez on Smells Like We. Michelle Rodriguez moves right to the inside. Gulicic to the inside of Alex Heller. They're 4 wide coming into the first corner. Smells Like We comes out on top with Michelle Rodriguez just behind. Alex Heller's been bullied right to the outside. Gulicic alongside Sandval for third position here. And Alexander Gray also. Oh, there's been an incident further back. Alex Heller's rounded. He's in the middle of the circuit. Some drivers dodging to avoid him as the top 3 remains. Smells Like We, Michelle Rodriguez, and then Gulicic, Alexander Gray and Sandval. What have we spotted, Spitzlam?
That's a large question. I don't know who did it, but Henry, Mad Bull, Ryan, Huge Ass, Isaac Johnson, and I think Maxman was involved as well.
Oh, Smells Like We's gone round.
Oh,
Smells Like We's gone round at the front. It's been put round by one of the front runners, and now Michelle Rodriguez leads the race. And sorry to cut across you there. Like you said, some big names involved in that incident at the start there.
I think that was.
Oh, Alexander Gray!
Alexander Gray! What is that, mate?
Alexander Gray just takes Keith Hull out. Yes, this is... What are we doing? Ping pong? Honestly. Alexander Gray takes out...
Wait, look at
RJ.
He looked like he was inside of Alexander's car. What is happening?
That was incredible.
With the internet. What's happening with Netco? We don't know what's happening. RJ going up the position side to side with Dennis Bosman. Have the inside of the turn. That's really nice going into the inside. Isaac making up positions as well with Keith. They're still going side by side, coming into the next corner. Keith has the inside line, but that's really great to keep position by Isaac. Max is alone in his Lando livery. Isaac and Keith are still battling. Gulicic is still second. Sandoval is still third. This is a mess.
No,
this race again.
This is much more chaotic than the last one.
Alander Van Hoden. Van den Hoven pushing that Beach Fund a little bit more out of turn 2 than what I would expect as well. Henry into the pits. Isaac losing even more positions. Dennis Bosman losing positions as well. Don't know if he was involved in something happening at the back. Gulicic losing time to Michelle Rodriguez somehow.
Yeah, certainly.
Like
I've kept the camera on some of these battles for 5th down to 10th here. Little Skittle going well off the track there. RJ rejoining Dennis Bosman. RJ moving past Little Skittle, who's rejoining. Little Skittle locking his brakes as well. He's going side by side with Max Nuke7, and he comes out on top ahead of Max Nuke7. But for how long, we'll see. There's 4 cars battling here over 10th position. There's battles up and down the grid. This is much more exciting racing than last time. Little Skittle is all over the track, going off left, right, and centre. Max Nuke7 is going to look to secure that move around the outside. Little Skittle's going to squeeze him. Oh, and they're going to touch together as they come back on circuit. Little Skittle rejoins in 11th position ahead of Max Nuke7 as Isaac Johansson moves up the inside of Keith Holt, and he completes the move up into 13th position. Keith Holt's going to have to concede to 14th. Here comes Ryan Skywalker behind. What's gone here? Oh no. Oh dear. There's been an incident here. And
Little Skittle. And
Hugh Jass has been put off again.
The entire road.
No, Hugh.
Hugh,
the most unlucky driver in the world, has been put off once again. That's so unfortunate.
Hugh will stop racing after these 3 rounds. This is unbelievable for him. It's Victor. Victor in the wall.
Oh, Victor Lundgren's in the wall coming out of turn 1 here. This is... these drivers are struggling to keep it on track. Keith Holt and Isaac Johansson are going side by side. These 2 have been battling very safely so far, and it's great to see them carrying on that trend as Isaac Johansson moves back through on the inside of Keith Holt. And there's about 10 cars in the space of 1 second here. This is awesome racing for the drivers as Isaac Johansson leads Keith Holt, leads Ryan Skywalker. Dennis Bosman and Max Nuke7 are battling behind. Max Nuke7 looking for a way through on Dennis Bosman. He's going to try and potentially make a lunge into the next few corners. He does indeed. He looks to the inside but thinks better of it. Sticks to the better line and then coming through into the chicane. Now Dennis Bosman is up the inside of Ryan Skywalker. Sorry, that's Ryan Skywalker on the outside of Keith Holt. And Ryan Skywalker has been bullied right to the outside. He rejoins ahead of Alad Bantenhoven. Almost collects him as Alad says see you later and bumps him off the circuit as Ryan Skywalker rejoins just ahead of him. Victor Lundgren moves through on Alad, and this is chaos here from 9th down to... I mean, it's 8th down to 14th, isn't it?
Down to 15th, actually. Hujas is still battling with Van den Hoven as well. This is carnage at its finest.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, for all the drivers on the circuit at the minute. Diet Peach Fanta is battling for 4th position. Just to cut away from the chaos for a minute and show him, because he has been cutting through
RJ, fastest lap.
Yeah, RJ with the fastest lap. He's behind Diet Peach Fanta. Diet Peach Fanta, as much as he's looking to make a move on the Norwegian Viking here, Roger Sale, he's surely going to have to be looking in his mirrors and seeing that it's full of RJ, and RJ is storming through the pack looking to take home 2 wins tonight. Diet Peach Fanta up behind Roger Sale. The move looks like it's going to be on very soon. We'll come back to it in a bit because there's still chaos here. Bloody hell, look at this. Max 67 looking up the inside of Dennis Bosman. Not going to happen this time round. Keith Holt battling away with Ryan Skywalker. They're battling tooth and nail. Ryan Skywalker's managed to get himself past Keith Holt for 11th position. Hugh Jass and Allard van den Herven are going side by side. Hugh managed to take the position away from Allard van den Herven before he got forced off the circuit there. Nice clean move from the Ferrari driver there. And then up ahead of them, they're Diet Peach Fanta off track. Oh, he's been sent round.
I don't think he's been sent around. I think it's just his rear going out a little bit. It's Dennis. Dennis going slowly. Wait, it's Dennis going slowly. What's happening? Oh, it's nothing. He just slowed down.
Potentially his pedals disconnected there. Unfortunate for Dennis Bosman. RJ, in the chaos of Diet Peach Fanta and Roger Sale battling, has moved through into 4th position, and now he's going to be eyeing up the lead of the race. Which, speaking of, Gulagzek and Michelle Rodriguez are separated by 0.3 of a second. Gulagzek ducking right up underneath the exhaust of Michelle Rodriguez here. Michelle Rodriguez moves to the inside to defend the line. Gulagzek sticks to his outside. He's going to try and hold on around the outside. He gets ahead, but he locks up his brakes. He's going to try and potentially get a switch back and get a bit more power out the corner. And he does indeed. He's gaining on Michelle Rodriguez as they power down towards turn 2 here. He looks to the inside once again, but Michelle Rodriguez defends once again. And this is great driving from the 2 drivers in the lead of the race. Victor Lundgren's very close behind Keith Holt, and he's just made the move indeed. Max 7's close behind Isaac Johansson. We're going to keep an eye on this battle at the lead of the race.
What's Keith?
Gulagzek is surely going to move through on Michelle soon. Oh, Keith is in the wall. Unfortunate for Keith Holt there. Out of turn 1. Gulagzek. Do you reckon Gulagzek is going to pass Michelle Rodriguez before RJ captures up to the both of them?
He might, but there's a problem. Gulagzek is losing so much time in the 2nd and 3rd sector. The 1st sector, how it's fast, turning corners, it's so much faster than the 2nd and 3rd sector. I think that's more of his type of racing. That's both of them in over the track limits. God damn it, guys.
We're going to have to review where the track limits will stand on that corner, I'm sure. Michelle Rodriguez still sticking with the lead of the race. He's keeping good.
Sorry, Adam, but it's RJ and Sandoval. Sandoval battling for 3rd, and that's not a battle. That's just dusting him off. RJ's in a different league. What is happening right here?
RJ has got the bit between his teeth, and he wants to take on the double win tonight. He's
not even into this
with absolute ease, and he's coming down the start-finish straight to battle through. Hopefully he can join us for another few races, because he's been great tonight. Diet Peach Fanta is still battling away in 7th position. He's close behind Alexander Gray. Behind them, Max 7 is through on Isaac Johansson. This is an awesome 3-way battle coming out of turn 1 here. 3 drivers separated by half a second. Max 7 defending from Isaac Johansson. Ryan Skywalker looking up the inside. He's desperate to try and make a move. Oh! And they've tagged each other. They've tagged each other. Isaac Johansson tags the back of Max 7. Max 7 goes round. Ryan Skywalker moves through a pair of them. And then as Max 7 is recovering, Victor Lundgren comes by and smacks Max 7 in the face. He's down into 11th position now. And this is a far cry from how he fared in the first race, isn't it? He's had the worst luck compared. Hugh Jass gets a slap of both here.
This will be a very not sleepy week for the Marshalls. God damn.
No. I expect the points to not be finalised until at least Sunday.
The Lord give us mercy.
Indeed. Ryan was very lucky there, Tom. You're damn right. Diet Peach Fanta's DNF.
DNF. I think his internet just went out. Seems like it.
That's a real shame for Diet Peach Fanta, because he was flying in the mid-pack there, doing really well. But that does get all the drivers behind him an extra position, so more points for them. Ryan Skywalker was lucky, Tom says in the comments. He was, when Max 7 and Isaac Johansson came together. Very lucky.
Wait, I'm so sorry, but it's Gulagzek diving down the inside of turn 1, going to turn 2.
Here he comes.
Gulagzek is first, and Michelle Rodriguez are going side to side, going down to turn 3. Gulagzek still maybe has the better line. No, it's Michelle who has the better line, coming down to turn 3, getting down to turn 4. Gulagzek is again 4 tenths
Oh,
away.
and they keep threatening the moves. They keep threatening the move, but look who's behind them. It's RJ. He's closing. He's closing. Every single lap, he's closed about half a second, and he's now underneath the second behind Gulicek. And it's only a matter of time.
Rodriguez. Again, switching positions. Gulicek having the better position, going into the chicane, locking up a little bit, but he secures the first position. Can he maybe get away from Michel Rodriguez and not defend as much? But then he will have to defend from RJ. RJ is enjoying the time of his life right now, pushing on Michel as well. He's saying Michel to go faster, but Michel can't.
He is indeed. He's trying to get some slipstream from him, trying to just make his way through. The camera's looking back, but great move from Gulicek there, switching back out the hairpin, making a move on Michel Rodriguez. And now comes RJ on Michel Rodriguez. And Michel could potentially be... Oh! RJ locks up his brakes, nearly goes into the back of Michel Rodriguez, coming through the penultimate corner there. But he doesn't. And indeed, he manages to keep it on the track. Michel Rodriguez goes to the inside, RJ to the outside. RJ having to stamp on the brakes as he tries to switch back on Michel Rodriguez, but he just has so much power out of the corners right now.
That's the
Just jump on board with him and see if he can potentially make a move on him. But yes, like you said, DRS trained, so no move potentially here. As Michel Rodriguez looks to dive to the inside of Gulicek, but it doesn't happen. And now RJ up the inside of Michel Rodriguez. Surely he's got more power out the corner, and the move is signed, sealed, delivered. RJ, surely. But Michel Rodriguez has got the inside line. RJ switches to the inside. He's trying to stiff one up the inside. Oh, and indeed he does. What a move from RJ. Late braking, late maneuver. And that was an awesome overtake, wasn't it?
He just sent it in there.
Absolutely, he sent it up the inside of Michel Rodriguez.
It and he sent it.
Indeed,
what a move!
He did. What a move! Michel Rodriguez now down to third position, and well, I'll tell you what, big props to Michel Rodriguez. He's coming to his own in this race. Third place is not a bad place to be.
Tutorial on how to lose the positions the fastest, because I never saw someone lose positions in 5 corners or less. Welcome to the Track Titan Hall of Fame, Michel. You're here to stay, mate. With RJ.
We'll see if Gulicek can take it away from him, because yeah, RJ's looking to make a move on him already. He dives deep, trying to break around the outside in towards the final complex of corners here. RJ looks to the inside, dives to the outside, gives Gulicek a bump up the back. That's going to damage his front wing. Surely his aerodynamic components will not be working to their fullest extent. Michel Rodriguez now. It is. Michel Rodriguez gains on him a little bit, but it's not enough for Michel Rodriguez to make the move this time round. Second one for RJ.
Yeah, that's one defensive move for RJ. So now he cannot. He only can move. He moved back to the racing line. That's good. People know the rule of weaving. I noticed that a lot in these races, but they still don't know how to race. But they know how not to weave on the racing line.
Well, I have to say that the theory that I had coming into the season was that giving everyone 3 weeks in a like series is going to allow them to get used to it. And I joked with Michel before the race that he still wasn't used to the open wheelers despite doing them for 3 weeks. But you know what? He's coming to his own in this second race, in this final race in the open wheelers, and he's doing fairly well, isn't he? In third
you say
place.
that, and he is a second after RJ.
In fairness, everyone's a second after RJ, because RJ is in a league of his own tonight. He's absolutely flying. He's now right behind Gulicek. Gulicek looking in his mirrors and he's panicking. He's panicking because he looks in his mirrors and all he can see is RJ. Ryan Skywalker up past Roger Sale and Alexander Gray.
It's a double overtake, don't mind me. Ryan just clearing out people like it's waste. Goddamn.
I'm not sure what happened there, didn't catch it on the cameras, but I can only assume that Roger and Alexander must have gone off together, because Ryan moved through on a pair of them in one corner. Here comes RJ though. We've been looking to make them see the move. Oh, and he sends Gulicek round. He bumps into him. Oh, great sportsmanship from RJ.
The two most unluckiest people, Gulicek and RJ.
You have to say though, great sportsmanship from RJ here. He stops, he allows Gulicek back on, and he does. I was going to say losing position to Sanval, potentially losing position to Sanval, but that was a brave breaking point from RJ, and it didn't pay off. But I tell you what, as much as I was singing his praises, as they're going 3 wide down the start, finish straight, Sanval with the inside line, RJ with the outside line. He's going to try and switch back on Sanval, and indeed he does, gets right up the inside of him on the switchback, but Sanval has got more speed out the corner. As they go side by side down in towards turn 2 here. RJ up the inside with a move just like he did on Michel Rodriguez, licks the stamp, sends it up into third position. That's a move that's already been done. And I was just saying that I was singing his praises before. Michel Rodriguez now in the lead of the race with only 1 lap to go.
2, basically.
Well, one and a half. Oh, Alexander Gray goes round. Alexander Gray battling with Max Newt 7. He goes round. He got on the curb on the inside there and got sent round. And Max Newt 7 inherits that position away from him as he's going to rejoin the circuit. Ahead, now behind, of Alad van den Herben and Keith Holt. Yeah, Michel Rodriguez, 4 seconds clear of Guliczek. Surely he's not going to throw it away now. Surely.
We are talking about Michel. Are we talking about the same Michel?
The chronic
I
bottle
just
job.
want to ask. Yep.
The chronic bottle job. Well, hopefully he can hold it on for everyone's sake here. He's coming around the final few corners to start the final lap of the race, and in the corners just behind him is RJ with a big drift out of the penultimate corner, trying to catch up to Guliczek and make the move happen once again. But this time he's only got 1 lap to do it. 1 second separates Guliczek from RJ. Sandval behind them, Ryan Skywalker in the distance at the top of your shot, and then Roger Sale, the Norwegian Viking, trying to bring home some decent points once again in 6th position. We'll see if they all finish in that order at the end of this lap.
Oh,
Hugh Jass and Max Newt 7. Oh, Hugh's gone off.
Been in it like Max Verstappen on the start of the race in F1, but this is the end of the race for Track Titan here. 1 final lap for Michel and Keith and many behind him.
Yeah, what a shame for Hugh Jass there, dropping down the order, dropping down behind Dennis Bosman right now. And then the closest battle on track now is the battle for 2nd position. RJ looking to make the move once again on this, the final lap of the race. He couldn't make the move stick last time round. He sent Guliczek around instead of actually making the move.
I think that you are blind because Ryan is fighting for 4th place.
Oh, indeed
that's
he is.
the closest battle for now.
Indeed he is.
Ryan
Battle for 4th place, Ryan Skywalker and Sandval.
Sandval is finished. So we know what Ryan likes to do with the fins. He likes to breed them underground so they never dig back up.
RJ sent Guliczek around. RJ sent Guliczek around again. It's happened once again. It was coming into the final complex of corners. I can only assume that was Guliczek breaking earlier than RJ. Ryan now through on Sandval and Guliczek to get himself up onto the podium. And Guliczek once again falls victim to some dodgy driving. Michel Rodriguez finishes the race in 1st position. The sexiest man in Track Titan finishes in 1st. RJ finishes in 2nd, but I assume he's going to get some penalties for those manoeuvres. Ryan Skywalker in 3rd, Sandval in 4th, Roger Sale, the Norwegian Viking, takes home some decent points in 5th
and Max Newt for 7th position down to the line.
Oh, so tight between
97,000.
So tight between himself and Isaac Johansson. That was a real tight finish at the end of the race there. 6th position for Guliczek, 7th for Isaac, 8th for Max, 9th for Dennis, and then Hugh Jass rounding out the top 10. And then Alad van den Herven, Keith Holt, Mad Bull, Smells Like Wheat, Victor Lundgren, Little Skittle, Alexander Gray, and then Henry Comsey finishes in 18th position because he had to pit for damage, and that's not great for his. And that means it does. Now Henry has broken his top 10 record. The only man to finish inside the top 10 in every race so far is now Dennis Bosman.
I have one thing. I see someone in the chat that will join us for the interviews, if that's okay. And then what if we interview Michel and the heartbroken Guliczek, I suppose, with losing his 1st place and his dignity.
Yeah, we can certainly talk to Michel. Michel, our race winner for race 2.
So I'm dragging in the special guest. I don't think he's even ready. I will just drag him. Hello,
Tom Jones. Tom Jones.
Hello.
Tom, you could have jumped in at any point in the evening, you know.
I've got COVID, my dude. I cough a lot.
Tom sounds healthy. Did you enjoy the racing tonight, Tom?
I did. It was very good to watch.
Who was your driver of the day from tonight?
Considering I only watched like the last 5 minutes of the second race, I've got to say it's Michel. He won the race, so.
He did indeed. What you missed in the first race was him doing terribly, but in the second race, he did really well. And he was there and he won the first race. He won the second race, took advantage of RJ and Guliczek coming together, and well, fair play, good choice. Tom,
thank you.
I hope you're all right, mate.
I'll be fine. I'm on the back end of it now, so you know.
I'm thinking of you. I love you.
Oh. really makes my
Hope
day
you
better.
get well soon, mate.
Right, we won't make you talk too much then, Tom, if you're a bit ill. But yeah, get well soon, Tom. Hopefully, we'll see you back soon.
Cheers, man. See you.
See you, Tom. There's
See you.
Tom Jones. Let's grab Michelle Rodriguez. Michelle. It's been a while
Hello.
since we've spoken to you as a winner of a race, hasn't it?
It is.
What were you saying before this race? How you didn't like this car? You didn't like the Formula cars?
I also said, look at me, guys. I'm gonna have 10 minutes of practice and I'm gonna win the race. And look what I did. I won the race.
Well, I
10
have to
minutes
say,
practice.
have you got like a horseshoe with you or rabbit's foot? Because you were so lucky that RJ and Gulick came together.
Now I knew that was gonna happen. I just waited for it because I knew
okay.
that it's gonna be hard battling. So I was just like, I'm just gonna wait and just pass by, and that's what just happened. No smart driving, as they say.
Okay, it's all just smart driving, is it? I see. Okay, interesting. Well, I tell you what, you raced fantastically. You defended within an inch of your life at the end of the race there, didn't you?
Yeah,
With Gulick and RJ as well. I mean, RJ seemed to make easier work of you, but you defended Gulick for at least 4 laps.
yeah, I defended Gulick. RJ was a bit harder because he knew the map. he knew
He's very
he knew the combo, so it's like he's 2 seconds up on my pace, so he kind of know where to break, and that I didn't know. So it was like he's gonna pass me. Just the question is when. Gushek, I could have held him back. I saw that I was faster in the places that he can pass me on. I just saw that. I mean, he's faster here. I'm faster here, so I can just, as long as I'm calm and don't do a mistake, he can't overtake me. So that's what. But he was fast on the other, on like the chicane and the S parts, and that's where he always caught up on me.
Yeah, we noticed that actually. You were a lot faster in certain areas, and he was faster in others. But yeah, he managed to lick the stamp and send it on you in the first corner. I think that just I think it got in, not to psychologicalize you, but it got in your head there, and it was suddenly Gulick was hunting you down, eh?
Oh, but he took me down on the inside. I thought, okay, I actually thought he was not gonna send it because it looked like he was gonna be far back, but he did send it and he kept it. It was a good overtake. That was a nice one from him.
Yeah,
Same thing
got
with
to
RJ.
say, I was very happy with both of your racing this evening. It was really good, clean racing up at the front. RJ did a nice move on you. He unfortunately punted off Gulick at the end of the race.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think Gulick brakes a bit earlier than RJ, and it caught him out. But well, that's racing.
Yeah, that is.
But
He
aside
did a
from
really
them,
good.
aside from them, got to give full credits to you, mate. You won, and then we got Tom Jones in the chat before, and he said you're his driver of the day.
Oh my god! I knew he's gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean, Tom only saw the last 5 minutes of the first race. I told him that you did terribly in the first race, but you know.
Hey, on my defense, I got crashed out on the first race and I had damage.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
On
I'll
my
accept that
defense,
excuse. I'll accept that excuse.
All I hear is excuses, and I don't like that.
Well, next week is gonna be like cars and not Formula cars, so
Closed
I
wheel.
believe it's gonna be better.
Formula
Mhm.
cars are still cars, mate. I don't know what you're
Well,
talking
Well,
about.
closed wheel is Michelle's game.
Yeah, I
isn't it?
know.
Yeah, because then it's if you get a little bit damage, it doesn't like a little bit of touching doesn't ruin your race, you know.
Exactly. And
When
next week
I
is
came to Track
BTCC.
Titan, you were the guy that was a menace in the open wheels. What has happened with you now?
I
Too
don't
much
practice.
ACC. Too much ACC. That's what it is.
I don't practice. That's the thing.
He's
But,
too busy.
you know,
He's
it's
too
all
busy
fun.
looking good. Hey, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
It is.
I called you the sexiest driver in Track Titan at the end of the race. You'll be happy to hear.
That's not true.
Yes.
Right. Well, enough of that shit. Oh, British touring cars next weekend. Audi and BMW. Are you going to pick Audi? Or are you going to pick BMW?
I like Audi as the
Audi's front wheel
as,
drive. BMW's rear wheel
that's
drive.
the
If that
thing.
sways you.
That's the thing, because I like Audi as a brand. The only thing is I just don't like driving front wheel drive because of torque steer, and it's a special type of driving. I like the BMW because I like having the rear loose. I like steering with my throttle,
Loosey-goosey.
so I'm gonna pick the BMW, unfortunately. But
Interesting.
That's how
I
it is.
think your sentiment is mirrored by most of the drivers. I think we're going to see a lot of BMWs next week, but the option is there. Potentially be an Audi-sized surprise next weekend. But well,
I hope so too. Otherwise, if everyone just goes BMW, I'm gonna be the special guy and go Audi. You know, just to make it
Always.
spicy.
Always, just to be special, eh?
Of course.
Right, well, Michelle, it's been great to talk to you as a winner of a race. Well done.
Thank you.
You were there
Thank
to
you.
capitalise, and you did exactly what you needed to do. You kept it on the circuit. So, race 2
Yes.
winner, Michelle Rodriguez, thanks for joining us.
A message to the kids: believe in yourself. You'll always make it.
I thought he would say the Valtteri Bottas Russia quote, but fine.
To
Oh, yeah,
whom
and,
it
okay.
may concern.
To whom it may concern, Ryan Skywalker. Fuck you. Oh, yeah, can't say that.
Get him out of here. He's kicked. He's gone. He's gone. I don't
He's
trust
gone.
him. I don't trust him. He's gone. Right, that's Michelle Rodriguez, race 2 winner. RJ is nowhere to be seen in the Discord. Don't know if he's in the Discord. Don't know who he is, but he won the race 1. But we won't talk to him. That's it. That's it. That's it for tonight. Thanks to everyone for joining us from the Hungaroring. This has been Track Titan Community Race Series, Season 4, Round number 3. I've been Adam Chapman. Joining me this evening was Spitslam. Say goodbye, Spitslam.
Bye, guys.
Say goodbye to your family, Spitslam. No.
wait.
Join us next week. See you later.